Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello again and welcome back to my channel, How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. As I think you know by now, I've stretched my paper. This is a £90 weight paper from Winsor & Newton. I don't normally paint this light, but being as it has the Winsor & Newton name on it, I think we can trust it. So I'm just leaving a thin film of water on the paper, and with a flat brush I'm just removing any excess off the edge to minimise any runbacks. Just going to say a quick hello to Chrissy Canvas Art. She's a young lady who paints in acrylics and she's great fun and she has a lot of fun painting. So if you would like to go across and visit her channel, I'm sure you would be welcome. I'm going to set off with some Indian yellow. I'm going to pull some quinacridone gold. That's a beautiful colour. Pull it all over the mountains, don't worry about it. Past the trees. We're just putting colour on really. Indian yellow. Cat red deep. Same colour again, just a little darker. Just with more cad red in it. Just to repeat the same colours down here. Indian yellow, quinacridone gold, a few shots of the orange, a couple of shots of the darker orange. Now at this point you are tempted to fiddle like this and flick your brush round and arrange your paint. I want you to leave that basically as it is. Just bring some Indian yellow into the land, I think, just to finish the paper off. Just leave it for a couple of minutes, and what we'll do is we'll take a bright spot out here when the shine has gone off the paper, and that will be your main centre of attraction. We'll bring a couple of sun rays down towards these trees here and we'll see how we go on. I think what I might do, I've just mixed up some indigo and burnt umber. You may want to bring some dark edges in, I think. You see how you can change your mind? I'm not fiddling, I'm just adding more colour. That's my excuse. Maybe just a little in here. A little along here. This will just actually help to bring your eye into the picture. It will keep it into the centre, which is exactly where you really want it. Remember, this will dry a lot lighter. You have to be aware of that. You can see the strength of colour that I'm putting on, and we'll see the difference when we come back to it. And you see how I'm fiddling? So you have to tell yourself to stop. So we're going to leave this to dry off for maybe 5 minutes and then we'll pull a bright area out. Actually, just before we go, and I forgot to tell you, I must be having a bad day today, with a large flat brush, just tuck the edge under the paper and remove any excess paint off the edge. This stops the paper from sucking it back on and creating cauliflowers. Right, okay, now we can leave it. Okay, welcome back. As you can see, the shine is just starting to disappear off the paper. So we're going to put some sun rays in, and this is a fully wet goat hair mop brush. And I'm just going to squeeze it between my fingers to remove all the water, so the brush is slightly damp and thirsty. And where I want the sun to come out from, I'm going to start to remove some paint. Couple of strokes, re-wet the brush, squeeze the water out. This will backfill slightly, which is what I'm planning on. To bring some through here as well. Bringing it down towards these trees. Want to remove a little bit of paint from this tree just to help the branches stand out. Now we're going to leave this to dry, and then we're going to clip it all around the edge. Watercolour normally dries between 20 to 30% lighter when it dries. So now we come to the attention to these mountains here, and I'm just re-wetting them right up to the line with some clean water. Bring it down this one as well. I've got the board set at around about 25 degrees just to allow the flow of the paint to come down. This is burnt sienna, Indian yellow and cad red deep. And I'm going to feed it into these mountains, but I want the back one here to be lighter than the one in the foreground. So I'm just going to encourage this and sort of spread this down a bit to encourage it to flow. Maybe just add a touch more water in at the top. As it comes down here, I actually want it to lighten. Do you see how I've got that to lighten up where the sun is? It needs to be lighter than the rest of the mountain. Just softening in the bottom edge. Whilst that is still wet, this is burnt sienna and indigo. And I think I'm just going to let that down a touch, because like I said, I want this to set back a little bit further than the other one. I'm just going to feed this in along the top edge. I don't want any detail on these mountains, just encouraging it to flow down. I do want some of the underwash to show through. And we will be lifting just a little paint out from this, just to add a little bit more interest. So once again, burnt sienna, Indian yellow and cadmium red deep. And we're going to make this just a slightly stronger in colour, as this mountain is nearer to you. Once again, just bringing it down a little bit, just to make it a little bit faster. And then with the same colour of burnt sienna and indigo, we're going to add this in at the top again. And we're going to leave this full strength as I've mixed it in the palette. Just leaving some areas stronger than others. It comes down towards the light, you should pale it off slightly, and as it comes through the water it should just pale off nicely. Softening off the bottom edge of it, and this one as well. Once again with the damp brush, I just want to take the sun rays out once more. It just helps to reinforce the light patch, and where the light is coming through from left to right on this mountain top here, you can start to lift a little paint out. Very subtle. This will create interest in your background mountain, just where you think the light would hit it. Where you think the light would strike it, we can begin to lift a little paint out here as well. Don't get carried away with this, so I'm going to stand back and just stop. Maybe just a little there. Okay, and now we're going to leave that to dry. Now that your mountains are dry, we come to this background layer of trees here. So I'm just putting some clean water on once again, just a line of water. And then with your quinacridone gold, we can begin to drop this background set of trees in. Start just above it and pull it into the water, relatively quickly. And don't have them all the same size. Then into that I'm just going to drop some orange, burnt sienna, Indian yellow and cad red deep. Just going to drop a little bit in here, not everywhere. Just encourage it to flow a little bit. I just want to drop some of the mountain colour in, which was the burnt sienna, indigo and yellow once again, but this is darker. Maybe the odd spot of detail. This will fool your eye into thinking it's millions of trees. Once again, just softening off the bottom. And once again, we have to leave this to dry. Once again, we come to the set of trees which is down on the shoreline, and I'm just going to run a line of clean water all along the shoreline. Once again, with the quinacridone gold. Once again, starting above the water line and just bringing it in to the water. The board is still set at an angle, so it will flow. And into the orange once again. Stronger this time though as you're coming forward. And because it's closer, we're just going to drop some stronger colour in. Just let me remove that. This is the burnt sienna, indigo, yellow and cadmium red deep. And I just want to test that. It's almost the same colour, but it's just enough to change things up a little bit. And I'm only going to add it to this side because it's in the shadow of the mountain, and I'm going to leave this side lighter. And then into that burnt sienna and indigo, maybe just on the tops. I'm just going to drop a little bit in. I'm just adding a tiny amount of detail once again, but it's darker than this set of trees, so it will bring the painting forward, or this part of the painting forward. 1 or 2 drops in along the shoreline, peeling it off as it comes into here, lifting a little out here and there just to create one bit of interest, a bit of mist maybe, just a bit darker here and there. Maybe there's some bushes down here, so we allow that to creep up. And now we're going to leave that line of trees to dry. I've just laid the board flat, and what I'm going to do now is re-wet the whole of the lake area right up to the shoreline. So I'm going to use the sky colours once again, Indian yellow, because I just want to strengthen it up. Quinacridone gold, all horizontal strokes, forgive my arm. Once again some of the orange, all the sky colours really, nothing too difficult. This is the burnt sienna, indigo, yellow and cadmium red deep. Same colour once again, but it just has more cadmium red deep in it. Okay, and I'm just going to merge this together, and maybe I just want to take a little light patch out here, damp brush. So we're going to leave it a couple of minutes and then we'll come back to it. Now that the lake has dried off just a little bit, we can move in towards the reflections. This is a stronger version of the quinacridone gold. And I'm just going to touch it in with the tip of this dagger brush, make that just a little stronger. Just making them all different sizes again, just popping a little bit in here for the other tree line. Just reloading the brush. Back to the burnt sienna, Indian yellow and cadmium red deep. I'm just going to add some of this in as well. Very warm today, so it's drying out rather quickly. Then with the darker mixture, burnt sienna and indigo, just drop some of this in. It's not a mirror image, but it will fill your eye. Just paling it off as it comes into this corner. Then we're just going to run a shoreline, same colour, just darken the bottom edge up slightly. Okay, and then we're going to leave this to dry. Now, because everything has dried out and we have a lovely light background, the mountains are light and the trees are light, we now need some contrast. So I'm just breaking open a goat hair mop brush, hope you can see that, and I'm just tapping the head into the paint, which is the indigo and burnt umber. I'm just going to put some tops onto these bushes. This is a mixture of indigo, burnt umber and Indian yellow, and it gives you a really dark green. And I'm just going to add this in as the shadow undergrowth to this. A little bit on this side as well. Just bringing some leaves hanging over. And then while that is still wet, this is indigo and burnt umber, and I actually want to bring some sticks and twigs running through this, just making it really dark in some areas. Same here. Then with the same colour, put the top of this evergreen tree in. This is the greeny mixture of indigo, burnt umber and Indian yellow, and I think we will just gently begin to put this fir tree in, or evergreen. And as you can see, it has a slight green cast, but it's very dark. And with this detail brush, I'm going to bring the top of this tree out just a little bit more. This one as well. Dropping some darker mixture in on the left hand side. Coming around to this side, the top of this one in and the top of this one. And once again with your greeny mixture. Try to resist the urge to keep going back into your tree and adding more, because you'll end up with a solid mass and we don't want that, so I'm going to leave that. I'm putting the whole of the tree trunk in on this one. Just some dead branches, maybe this one has sadly given up the ghost and passed away. The big brush, I'm just running some clean water along the bottom here. I'm just going to bring it up to the bottom of these trees, and then while that is still wet with some of the dark green, I'm going to pull the trees into the ground. This helps to ground them. Burnt umber and indigo. Bring some real extra dark into this, and I'm not putting it everywhere, I'm just dropping it in and allowing this to spread. And I want this edge to be darker as it comes over the other one. Just adding some into the bottom of the trees. Then with my detail brush I'm just flicking up one or two grasses. Don't have them all going the same way. We'll just put some birds in, very tiny here. And then we have to leave this to dry for the moment. Now the painting's all dry, I just want to do a couple more things to it. I just want to put a couple of wind streaks into the water area, so keeping it level with the bottom of the page. This does two things. It adds more interest to your lake, and it also helps to break up the reflection and add more interest. On there. Don't have them on the same level. Just stagger them. That's about all I want to do to that. Then you get round to the best bit. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click the like button and please subscribe. All subscribers are welcome, and as I said before, it doesn't cost you anything. Once again, thank you very much for watching.